What's going on? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Room, where having a healthy mind is priority, man. Now, before we even start this video, I'm not gonna lie, I do not have a title for it. I didn't even plan on, shooting anything. I was just laying on the couch, had something I wanted to talk about, threw the camera on and said, why not? So here we are, man. Something that I wanted to talk about, timing. I guess, we'll all be surprised at what the title is, but timing. Moving on your own time. The way the world is now with social media and just how easy it is and how accessible celebrities are in terms of kind of seeing everything at every minute of the day, if not the hour. And it leaves a lot of people in the space of, what am I doing wrong? Why don't I have that? Why am I not able to do that? So when you live in a world to where, so many people are constantly thinking that way just off of what they're seeing, you can imagine how many people just are walking around maybe depressed or maybe just not in the best of moods because they feel like they're not where they should be in life at that particular time. This is why I wanted to talk about just moving on your own time, having patience, but also doing the work. Something that I always, repeat, just doing the work. Jay-Z, if I'm not mistaken, didn't really, make it until 27. If I'm not mistaken, the first album dropped at 27. 50 Cent didn't really make it, I believe, at the same age. 2 Chainz. There's a lot of people who spent so many years of grinding and working and just doing everything they have to do to get to the next level. The only difference between them and you is they did not stop. And that's why moving on your own time is very, very important. Do not stop. In the words of the great Nipsey Hussle, it's not a race, it's a marathon. Just because this person might have the car you want now, doesn't mean you're not going to be able to get that car. Time really is of the essence, and people have to learn how to just start treating time with more, it's something I like to say, man. You gotta respect time when time respects you. And what I mean by that is, you gotta use time for what it is. Time waits for no one. I know people done heard that a million times, but time really waits for no one. Time keeps going. The moment you stop and decide to stand still and be stagnant, time is still gonna be moving. Respect that moving time. Utilize that time. Do what you have to do within that time to get to the level that you want to get to. But make sure you're not motivated by what others have. Make sure you're not motivated by what others are doing in terms of you feeling like you should be doing what they're doing at the exact same moment that they're doing it. Instead of doing that, use it as inspiration. Damn, man, he worked hard, man. I see everything he doing, man. Damn, she on her job. She got a business. I use that as motivation. I gotta get on my job. This is what I have to do. It's all about just doing the work and not being blinded by unnecessary distractions. It's easy to go on IG and, constantly scroll and you see the fancy cars, you see the designer clothing, you see the lifestyle. But understand, on Instagram, and this is something that, I'm not even saying for the first time. This has been repeated by, so many people. Social media is a highlight reel. People are giving you the best parts of their life, but they're not giving you their whole life. There's always a story behind the lens. There's always a story behind anything, really. Music, perfect example. Before social media and before, YouTube is what it is now, you rarely got to see the in-between process when it comes to making an album, or even when it comes to, putting a tour together. But now you're able to see the rehearsals. Now you're able to see the studio sessions. But there was a time where you only saw the end product, and that's it. So to a lot of consumers, a lot of people watching, that's all they see. Overnight celebrity. How can I get there? How can I get from A to Z without worrying about anything else in between? And the truth is, there is no way. There is no way. There's no shortcut to success. There's no way to finesse your way through certain things. You might be able to finesse your way in certain situations, but the ultimate goal of creating that legacy for yourself, creating something that you can pass on, creating something to the point where your family doesn't have to work anymore. There's no shortcut. There's no cheat code. It's none of that. It starts with you. Time is probably one of the most heaviest things when it comes to the mental. One of the heaviest things, because it's so worried about. People are always worried about time. Always worried about time. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a negative and there's a positive. A lot of the world focuses on the negative with time. I don't know how much time I have. I don't know what I could do. Damn, time just went by. I feel like I'm not doing enough. Damn, but this person did that, and it's always thinking about it in that way. Always feeling like time is working against you. But in order to stop that, you got to change the mind state and really understand that it's about the marathon and not the race. It's not about winning first place. It's about winning. I know you have your competitive, situations, your competitive industries, and there's always going to be a competitive nature in anything that you do. But I'm talking about when it comes to you. When it comes to you staring in the mirror at yourself. You are your only competition. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday. Am I better than I was yesterday? Am I doing more than I was doing yesterday? Did I accomplish any of the goals that I set for myself that I might not have gotten a chance to do yesterday? Am I constantly improving? That should be your only competition. That should be the only person. That should be the only person you're worried about. If you want to move in terms of racing, then race yourself. Be better than you were yesterday. Learn from every mistake. Learn from every downfall. Throughout any success, there's always going to be trials and tribulations. But the worst downfall you can be to anyone is yourself. So don't focus too much on time. Don't focus too much on keeping up with anyone. Focus on keeping up with yourself. Everything that I talk about here with this particular series is always going to be based around having a healthy mental. That's the best way to operate just in this world or in general. To move on the basis of healthiness. So don't worry about keeping up with someone. Don't worry about having a certain thing by a certain age. Everything happens when it's supposed to, as long as you do the work. Please remember, when it comes to time, let time work for you, and don't be so focused on working against time. Utilize the time you have. You have some goals, sit down right now, write them down, and start working on clearing them out one by one and doing the necessary work. It could be very, very detrimental to someone's mental to just kind of always focus on competing or catching up or being on someone else's level. The only level you got to worry about is the level you on and how you can excel from that level to the next. I appreciate you guys for stepping into the room. I go by the name of Desmond Bonet, and this is a place where having a healthy mind is priority. Until next time, we here, man. Stay healthy.